Well, it's Friday the 27th of September. We're now in Libra season. This is episode 1926 of 301 Permanently Moved.online, a personal podcast 301 seconds in length, written, recorded, and edited in 1 hour by me at the JMO. When I sat down 35 minutes ago to make this show, I was fully intending to talk about meditation habits, making sacred time and sacred space. But where I've ended up is ritual and storytelling, and I can already make out the sound of atheists and materialists cringing on the wind. But whether you like it or not, witchcraft and astrology are having their moments in the sun, and the least surprising thing about 2019 is Marianne Williamson running for president. Until recently, I found that any mention of ritual or the sacred has been dismissed as culty or treated with suspicion. But I've noticed some quote-unquote thought leaders saying things like technology as ritual recently. Valley Bros trying to think piece up James Carey's ritual as technology. And as we live through the collapse and are forced to confront the natural world, subjects like the sacred and ritual will have to unpack in our culture in new ways in the next decade. Quote-unquote, established religions don't have a monopoly on ritual, nor do social scientists or anthropologists. Ritual belongs to all of us, both collectively and individually. By now, I think we understand that technology neither works nor signifies the same in every place or culture. And if it does, it is often because the environment has been molded to suit the technology's needs, not the culture's. The reverse of Don Norman's line in Living with Complexity, quote, we must design for the way people behave, not how we would wish them to behave, end quote. Ritual and technology are both manifestations of local desires. They both signify their beginning, verify, and communicate the successful operation. Ritual, like technology, is as integral to processes of knowing, doing, and making as it is to the production of symbolic meaning. Unfortunately, it's become very common for people to use rituals interchangeably with the word routines. TheEntrepreneur.com has 10 bedtime rituals that help you reflect, relax, sleep, and succeed. Maybe it's something to do with spicing up copy in the clickbait age that has caused this. But there is an important difference between the two. One of them generates meaning, and the other doesn't. Given that definition, I can hear you all shout, then everything can be a ritual, and I would agree, but can is a word that's doing a lot of heavy lifting. One can imbue a routine with meaning and make it a ritual. Whether you should or not is an open question. But rituals don't just generate meaning, they also require one other element. Sacrifice. As Will Newsom says, all rituals have a sacrifice. The default one is time. If you go back and look at the bedtime routines with the two tests of meaning and sacrifice, most of them struggle to be a minimum viable ritual, because what you find in ritual is an act of meaning that resonates with and echoes out into the wider universe, and that meaning can flow both ways. Reading aloud can be ritual, drama, dance, as can a whole host of other things. An effective ritual creates a two-way resonance between the audience and the performer. Blackrod, showing up in Parliament the other week, showed the aliveness of a resonant ritual. To recap, it is sacrifice that generates meaning in the moment of the act, and that act causes resonance. At this point, like the meme, let's take a screeching exit at the sign marked storytelling. Star Wars, or the MCU, is a quote-unquote mythos, one that contains warmed-over archetypes taken from children's comics. Going to the cinema to watch a movie meets ritual criteria for many. It generates meaning in their lives and is a sacrifice of time and money. People resonate with the characters that are being invoked during the movie. The characters, however, do not resonate with them. I've said before that deep engagement with mythos should give people agency within those realms. If someone else owns the stories, then it is not possible, as the resonance is only one way. There are, however, story universes out there that are two-way. The most OG of all is the night sky. The dance of the stars, constellations, planets, and the moon is a vast cosmic soap opera that changes from day to day. And when you pay attention, the sky becomes alive with meaning. You don't have to quote-unquote even believe in horoscopes to follow along. There is a whole cast of characters in the night sky that resonate with you personally, assigned in certain ways at the moment of your birth. Over our heads is a cast of cosmic characters, interacting dynamically, a story alive in the present moment, and you can watch it play out. You don't need to go and buy a t-shirt, but you already have a team, so you might as well follow along. And just as you resonate with the characters in the sky, the positions of the characters resonate with you. You have agency in the cosmic story itself, as you are part of the story in its witnessing. This is story as ritual, alive in its telling. It has sacrifice, being alive, meaning, and resonance. The reason that the story of the stars as ritual is important is because our ancestors would struggle to define mythology as something separate from ritual. It is the toolkit that all of our narrative tools live inside. If you have managed to follow along, then we should demand a great deal more from the storytellers in our culture.